Welcome to the Superior Plumbing Presents the North Georgia State Fair podcast, coming to Jim R. Miller Park in Marietta September 21st through October 1st. On this episode, we're going to go all prehistoric. And also we'll check in with Brian Giffen as he talks with the American Bull Riders Tour. But first...
So my name is Kayla. I'm the host of Jurassic Kingdom Dinosaur Show. This season, it's Lockdown Edition. And it's good to talk with you guys today.
Yeah, thank you very much for this. So Jurassic Kingdom, it's a brand new event at the North Georgia State Fair. So how did this all come about, and how come you're doing this? How did you get into this also?
Well, it's kind of a very long story. So I'm just from a small town, but my husband, he's a fifth-generation circus performer. And when I graduated high school, my sister had a circus with her husband, and I went on the road to sell souvenirs with them. We fell in love, kind of deal, ran away with the circus, got married. But he used to do all these dangerous acts like high wire, the globe, the wheel, all these things. And one day when we decided to have a family, we decided to bring the danger down a little bit and start our own show, which we had been in talks of doing for a while. Dinosaurs just kind of came to mind and said, let's do a family show. That way, maybe, one day she could get involved with it, or just, kids in general. I've always been great with kids. So, we just wanted to do something family oriented that we could bring to the fairs. That way everyone could, have a good time, whether they're age of 1 to 100. And dinosaurs seem to be a timeless classic.
Oh, everybody loves dinosaurs. I have friends of mine that have young kids that are obsessed with dinosaurs, and they would absolutely love to go see this attraction. So what are some of the dinosaurs that people can see there?
So we have a variety of different dinosaurs. We usually start our show with either baby dinosaurs or our herbivore Parasaurolophus. We always usually start with herbivores, and we lead into our carnivorous world. But we do have a Parasaurolophus. We have a baby Triceratops. There's a baby long-neck Brachiosaurus. We also have a baby Ankylosaurus. So they all kind of switch out. That way, sometimes you don't always see the same show. In our carnivore world, we have Blue, the Velociraptor, and Sparky, the T-Rex. So he's the show closer. You'll always see Sparky, that's for sure.
Is the T-Rex the most popular dinosaur you find?
I like to think so. Blue is a movie star, but everybody has a soft spot in their heart for Sparky.
There's a pterodactyl in there, isn't there?
There is. It kind of rotates out depending on weather conditions and things, but he's kind of cool. He just kind of pops in and pops out of the show. We also have a Dilophosaurus. They don't have main roles in the show. A long time ago, we used to have an interactive pterodactyl, but the show has just changed and evolved so many ways from so many years ago.
Okay, so if I'm bringing my kids to this, am I going to be able to enjoy it? Are they going to absolutely be terrified by these dinosaurs? Are they going to pet them or what?
Well, we try to gear the show, more children friendly, and the dinosaurs can be a little aggressive is not the right word, but funny, friendly, and very intrusive of your space. So if you are at the front row of the fence, you're definitely going to get dinosaur interaction. But when we designed the dinosaurs, we kept the children in mind as far as, it being more like a 3D movie and an in-person experience. Some of the dinosaurs are more friendly and cute and poppy versus, scary, terrifying, and teeth.
Okay, so it's the kids are absolutely gonna love this show, aren't they?
Absolutely. There are sometimes a few that get a little, not so sure about the dinosaurs, or they're a little worried, or they step back a little bit further. But by the time Sparky comes out at the end, they've pretty much gotten a good hold on the show, and they know that the dinosaurs are there to play and have fun and just act silly and ridiculous. So they all end up having a very good time. And there's always something for someone. We have the baby dinosaurs that come to interact with the kids, and they're soft and they're gentle. And so the kids get to see or touch a dinosaur at some point.
Oh, that's fun. I'm glad they get to actually touch them, because I know that most kids would love to touch a dinosaur. Without giving too much away in the show, because we want people to kind of be surprised by it, what are some inside, some acts or some part of the show? Little insight of the show.
Well, we do a lot of fossils, and I could tell you the entire show, but we have people come back and watch it every single day, every single show. So it's not anything that's going to be much of a spoiler. They love the show so much, they just keep coming back. But we do fossils. These fossils will introduce the different dinosaurs. I can tell you that we have a Triceratops egg. We have the Megalodon tooth and T-Rex tooth. We also have a Coelophysis skull. And it's an Orinthopod footprint, which is a two-legged herbivore dinosaur that we used to introduce Miss Charlotte, our Parasaurolophus. But at the end of the show, a little kind of side note for everyone that can try to be more interactive with the show. At the end, when we have Sparky out, we also do a little treat segment. So I have a bone that I pick a person from the audience, and there's one every show. I find someone strong, brave, and willing to help me volunteer to give Sparky the bone because he does a good job throughout the show, and he gets a treat just like a normal dog. And that's kind of his persona. He's like a giant puppy out there, and he's hilarious, and he plays. So one lucky audience member every show gets to give Sparky the bone.
Oh, that would be so much fun. I feel like I'm a 10-year-old right now. I'm going to go see these dinosaurs. So what is something else that people may not know about this attraction, some of the maybe that I haven't mentioned yet that's kind of unique?
Well, like I said, it's just what makes us very unique and different, kind of aside from some shows, because there are your normal thrill shows and, your circus shows and things like that. But this is very family oriented, but it's also educational. So it's an edutainment type of show. So you're kind of learning things along with, being entertained. And I've been told by a lot of teachers that watch my show and parents at homeschool that watch our show that we use a lot of their vocabulary words and that their kids can't stop talking about them. And when they do their summer projects, when they come back to school, they talk about, being able to see the dinosaurs at the fair from the summer. So I've been told that a lot of our stuff, which kind of subconsciously I put in that, it's very educational but entertainment. So we're calling it an edutainment experience.
And a lot of those dinosaur names are very hard to spell, as you are probably well aware of. And I guess that'll teach kids to learn how to spell. Is there a chance where you could actually buy replicas of these dinosaurs when you're visiting the fair?
Well, we do have a souvenir time at the end of the show. We usually have plush dinosaurs available. It honestly depends on what kind of stock we have when we get to the fairs, because we've had all kinds of things from dinosaur light-ups to dinosaur bubble blowers. But the main thing that we've had this year and that has been doing very well and the kids seem to adore are the dinosaur plush. So we usually sell 3 different type of plush, and there's Blue the Velociraptor, Sarah the Triceratops, and of course everybody's favorite, Sparky.
All right. This is a lot of great information. It sounds like so much fun. I'll end this with, I have a really silly dinosaur joke if you want to hear that. It's a really bad dad joke.
Oh, I love it. That's my full show. I'm making bad mom jokes the entire show, so let's hear it.
Okay, so did you hear about the Tyrannosaurus Rex, how he felt the next day after a pretty okay workout?
No.
He felt kind of sore.
Oh. Well, you tried. No, that's a good one. I appreciate the contribution.
Awesome. So let's see. The show times Monday through Friday, 7 and 9 p.m. and then Saturday and Sunday, 2, 6, and 9 p.m., right?
That sounds correct to me.
Kayla, thank you very much for doing this. We'll look forward to seeing all those dinosaurs at the North Georgia State Fair. Thank you for spending some time with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
From dinosaurs to bulls. This is what's happening at the North Georgia State Fair, and this is Brian Giffen.
And we're talking with Pam Treadway. She's from the American Bull Riders Tour, and of course they will be at and be part of the North Georgia State Fair. You guys have to be excited for that show like you are all of them.
Oh, we absolutely are. The facility is one of the contestants' favorite facilities on the rodeo circuit. It's really conducive, of course, to many entertainment events, but particularly in rodeo because there's not a bad seat in the house. So contestants look forward to coming, and so do us as the stock contractors.
You know, in the times we're in, there's so many things that have these daredevil elements to them. You got to be a pretty courageous person to be a professional bull rider.
Oh, without a doubt. It's voted by a lot of your sporting events to be the most dangerous sport in America. And I would certainly agree with them on that, because I see it week in and week out, and how those guys have the nerve to climb down on the back of an 1,800-pound bucking bull is beyond me. But they do it, thank goodness, because it's great entertainment.
And I think one of the things about it that maybe stands out for me a little bit is the fact that, you're not talking about a race car or a motorcycle or, a football field. You're talking about a live animal here that has its own mind, has its own moods, has its own personality, and you got to factor that stuff in there. That creates quite an unpredictable element to what a professional bull rider is facing when they perform.
Oh, absolutely. And bucking bulls today have been really bred to such a level that they now are better at what they do than they've ever probably been in the history of rodeo. They are athletes in the same way that the cowboy is, and they can win world titles the same as a cowboy can, because what they do, if they really excel in the sport, is recognized and appreciated by the rodeo industry. So I think rodeo is at a very exciting place in the United States. It's got better following than it's ever had. Spectator attendance has been really, really good, especially since the pandemic.
Now, how far do you guys go as a group, and how far away from your base do you actually have events that you participate in or have sanctioned events at?
Well, this rodeo is sanctioned by the International Pro Rodeo Association, which is headquartered in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And they produce over 600 sanctioned events throughout the United States and Canada each year. So this is a rodeo that is sanctioned by them. We probably cover maybe 4 to 5 states in the southeast ourselves. So we stay pretty busy with pro rodeos each weekend.
You see kids coming up in sports, be it, football, basketball, baseball in particular, where you have travel ball, you have all these different levels for kids to develop their skills. So is it a similar situation with rodeo, and I guess bull riding in particular, where it's something that participant takes an active interest in at a young age, and they get to kind of learn their way and develop as they go? In other words, there's not really a minor league or a youth version of this, is there?
No, there is. There absolutely is. They can start, of course, very young, like in the junior little britches, but mainly kids go to high school rodeo, and then the International Pro Rodeo Association also has a youth division where they have, it's called the International Finals Youth Rodeo, that's held every year in Oklahoma, and that is for kids. So, yeah, if they really show an interest in rodeoing, there's a lot of outlets that they can begin their career in through youth events.
And at what kind of age? I mean, I guess they could technically start having an active interest as young as 5, 6 years old, maybe younger than that.
Yeah, usually, once a child starts showing that he's got that interest, usually 6, 7, 8 years old is when you start seeing them in some of the junior rodeos. And then they really start to get serious about it once they get to the high school level. It's called high school rodeo. And then, of course, like I said, the IFYR that is held every July in Oklahoma is a youth event. So there's a lot out there for them to really learn and get involved in professional rodeo, as youth.
It's a funny thing. I'm sitting here in the Atlanta suburbs, and of course, the mindset in an area like this, although once you get out extended, it certainly changes, but a lot of the folks in the city wouldn't necessarily give much thought to such a thing. But to be honest, there's a heck of a lot more of the country that loves this kind of event and loves these kinds of things. And obviously, the appeal is very widespread.
Oh, it truly is. I mean, of course, like I said, rodeo has gained a really great popularity in the last 10 or so years, but we have as big a crowd to go somewhere. Let's say we used to go to Boston, Massachusetts for a 7-performance rodeo, and you'd say, well, now who in Boston wants to see a rodeo? but they had a packed house every performance. So I really think that rodeo covers a really wide span of the people that it appeals to, whether it's in the big city or it's out in the country. I see the same crowd attendance regardless whether it's a big city or country.
Tell us a little about the American Bull Riders Association, when it was formed, and obviously how much of, I guess, the sport it probably covers nationwide, correct?
Well, the American Bull Riders Tour started out in Texas, and then there was an interest by a group of people to bring that association over to the Southeast. And it has been over here in the Southeast region for probably about 15 years now. So the headquarters is no longer in Texas, and they have a large membership, a lot of bull riders that compete all year long to qualify for the finals, which is held in December in Raleigh, North Carolina. The American Bull Riders Tour is what it's called.
Now, if I were to ask you, as somebody who had never been to one of these, what would be the biggest promotional sentence and/or phrase you would use to describe? It's got to be an exhilarating event.
It truly is, but I think why rodeo is so popular is just it really appeals to all age groups. There's something for children where they stay engaged and don't get bored throughout the 2 hours or so that a rodeo lasts, but yet it's every bit as appealing to the grandparents that may come. And if you really think about it, there's not a whole lot that the whole entire family is going to enjoy, because if they take the kids somewhere, the parents might get bored, or if the parents go somewhere, it might not be appropriate for kids.
Right.
So other than rodeo, there's not a lot out there that's going to appeal to such a wide age range as rodeo.
Well, that's terrific, and obviously we look forward to seeing you guys when you're at the North Georgia State Fair. Pam, we really appreciate you spending the time with us today to talk about bull riding and the American Bull Riders Tour. And obviously, we, as I said a moment ago, look forward to seeing you when the North Georgia State Fair rolls around.
Absolutely. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
That is Pam Treadway. She is with the American Bull Riders Tour.
Thanks for listening to the North Georgia State Fair podcast, coming to the Jim R. Miller Park in Marietta, September 21st through October the 1st. For all the information about tickets, events, and more, go to northgeorgiastatefair.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Superior Plumbing, Carriage Kia Grandstand, Coca-Cola, Northside Hospital, the Marietta Daily Journal, Georgia Grown, and LGE Community Credit Union.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.